Hey there, I'm Alyssa, and this is Speak Brown Girl, where we speak our truth on Black women, relationships, and religion. I'm a divorced mom of three littles, a digital marketer, and a theologian. I'm a feminist, womanist, and strong Black independent woman. I like my comedy sarcastic, my traveling frequent, and my dancing a little hood.
And I'm Starr, a nonprofit professional by day and a real estate entrepreneur by night. More importantly, I am a new wife, a sister, a daughter, and a friend, connoisseur of spicy food, good coffee, and Black culture. I stand for the gospel, Black liberation, and head wraps. I am unapologetically a Black Christian woman.
And I'm Marvy. I'm a senior administrative assistant, actress, and woman of God. I enjoy game nights, exploring new places, meeting new faces, and anything animal related, Black music, culture, and church, are where I find the most joy.
Okay.
I'm struggling.
Stumble bus.
That was a struggle for y'all today. Y'all all right? Y'all good?
We don't know who we are anymore.
Okay.
Just chop us up real good, just chop us
I'm
up.
not doing any of that. Before we get into, thank you guys for joining us for season 2, episode 15 of Speak Brown Girl. Before we get into today's topics, we do want to remind you that Speak Brown Girl is now on YouTube. It's Speak Brown Girl Podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. And if you're a new or faithful podcast listener, don't forget to rate and review our show. Typically we would have in the news with Starr, but Starr has a nice story for us this time.
It's story time?
Starr's gonna lead with story time. What do you
Story
have
story. Okay, so we're bringing back story time. That's you never know what you're gonna get. Okay, I can't remember all the notes and all the things.
You couldn't remember the word time. You couldn't wrap it up.
I like to switch it up a little bit, story,
You're so analytical, Marv.
No, this thing she said that she don't like to leave songs incomplete, which is why she put herself on mute to finish out a whole song.
This song isn't set in stone. I like to switch it up and kind of freestyle it every time I do it. And I haven't done it. I think I've only done it twice this whole season. It was a regular segment last season, but we ran out of stories because it's quarantine. People ain't dating like that. So, and all of my stories are years old because I'm married.
He's married.
But I have to remember. I have to go in the archives, and
down. Is that the right hand?
Yes, that was the right one. Your left hand was the right hand. Anyway. So I had to go in the archives for y'all. I have some stories in the archives I've been forgetting about. So this story time is from when I was young. I was in college. I was 20 years old. I used to be a server. All throughout college, I worked in the restaurants, and I would meet guys all the time, right? Men would always leave me their number. One time this guy left me his number while he was on a date with his girlfriend. He left it on the back of the receipt.
Sir.
I'm you trash. Anyways, but that's not who this story is about, but just some context around the environment. And so at the restaurant that I used to work at, we used to have security who were Atlanta police officers, right? And so there was this Atlanta police officer who worked the little section where our restaurant was at, and he used to come in or whatever. So he started flirting with me. Clearly he was interested, and somehow we ended up getting numbers, and we went out and whatnot. And so again, I was 20 years old. I was single. I went out with him, but I also let him know that I was dating other people because, we were just talking and hanging out. I was dating other people, but I was not in a committed relationship. So that was all fine and good. We went on a few dates. He used to cook and bring me food to my job. And in conversation, I learned that him and my sister lived in the same neighborhood. And so I was like, oh, that's, he told me where he lived. Oh, my sister lives there. He was like, oh, really? Whatever. So of course I talked to my sister about him. Hey, I'm talking to this police officer who lives in the neighborhood. And she was like, oh, yeah, I know him. Yeah, he's he's crashed a few parties shut down a few parties at my house before or whatever. And she was like, but I feel like there's a woman who lives there. Like I see this woman like walk a dog over there. And I was like,
What?
no, I mean, he knows I know where he lives at. Like, I don't know. But anyways, he did have a few dogs, and he's talking to me about his dogs. He used to like grill a lot. So he's like grill and bring me food to my job. One time, he invited me to like, cause he used to do like side jobs or whatever. He invited me to come visit him at one of his jobs. And long story short, he like called me or like a few nights later saying that like somebody reported him for having company at the job, and he pretty much kind of lost that job, right? So it's kind of stupid. Men are dumb. Anyways, like you just risk your job for a 20-year-old girl that you're not in a relationship with. But anyways.
Oh, because you were there?
We were there, and he wasn't paying attention to work because he was paying attention to me. Let's just say that.
Oh man. Starr out here just ruining lives. Just kidding.
He invited me. He ruined his own life. He's stupid. You know this job. I don't know. You just told me this to slide through, and it was like not far from my job, so I slid through.
I like how this job hasn't been named as to what his side job was, but go ahead.
Oh no, it was like police officers have like they do like security, like all of it is police work. Like he's in uniform, and like in police uniform, all of that. But
I love how Marvy wants specific details, but Marvy doesn't tell
anything.
Specific details.
This is not true.
Continue.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like it's like the side jobs are like what police officers call their like police jobs that aren't technically like they're not technically on.
Yeah, I didn't know that. See, I just like more details.
You've ever seen a police officer in Atlanta like sitting at a liquor store?
Yeah.
That's like their side job where they get additional money to just sit there.
Yeah, I thought that they was just being a police officer, so I ain't know.
Oh no, those types of things are like the company probably hired, contracted with,
and they can pick up those shifts.
Yeah, as extra jobs. So yeah, he was working like those type of jobs. Like he was still in uniform. Like when he was at my job, he was in uniform, but it was like a side job. And so. Where was I? Okay, so that happened. He, got fired from one of his jobs or whatever because he asked me to come visit him, right? Okay, so again, like my sister would tell me stuff, and I'm like, I don't know, whatever. So one day, oh yeah, so I told you, like he used to bring me food to my job in his squad car, like uniform squad stuff, bring me food to my job, blah blah blah. But like he never invited me to his place, which. At the time I wasn't really concerned about because we had just met and I didn't really want to go to, a guy's house like that anyways, because I didn't want to like, whatever. So I wasn't necessarily offended, but it was kind of weird knowing that he knew that I knew where he lived and he would cook food, but he would bring it to my job and go all the way out of his way, but he wouldn't ever invite me over. But of course, like this wasn't a big deal. Again, I'm young, I'm dating multiple people, so I was like, whatever. So one day we were going out to dinner, and I don't remember what question I asked, but essentially I asked him a question that would have made him have to like tell the truth, essentially. But I wasn't even like I didn't know where it came from. I think it was just like out of all of these like coincidences of like all these things, I just kind of asked the question, and he told me that he actually had a fiance, live-in fiance, right? And I was like, why wouldn't you tell me that? He was like, well, I thought you had somebody and I had somebody, so I thought it was understood. And like, I don't got nobody, I'm single. I talk to other people, but you're not cheating on me, you cheating on her. It's not about what our agreement was. You have a whole fiance. You have a whole fiance.
Like dating, like you have a commitment to somebody.
Yes, I'm single. I'm talking to other people. Yes, but you are cheating. Like not only are you in a relationship, but you are engaged. And not only are you engaged, but y'all live together and y'all share dogs together.
and so are you bringing me the food that she cooked?
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, you know how mad I would be if I'm cooking for my man and he taking the food to another woman to her job?
Oh my God.
That would make me
Oh
so angry.
my God.
And he's sitting there eating dinner at night and he fixing me a plate on the side.
Can I just flash before y'all? She was about to kill somebody.
What'd you say?
What was I doing?
Marvin looked like she was about to kill somebody.
Oh, I had to stretch my hands to Jesus because I just what?
But it's a funny visual of like them eating dinner together. Like, yeah, baby, he putting a plate onto the side for his side boo. Like that is crazy.
We're making it seem as if he packing lunch for work and then he giving it to you.
Yes, that's crazy. But he packaged it as like, oh, I like to grill, so he will always grill. But I'm like, typically, if you're grilling, she making the side, so
or prepping the chicken, you just throwing it on there
or something. But I'm like, dang, that's crazy, bro. I just thought it was hilarious how he thought that because I said I was upfront with the fact that I was still dating because we weren't in a relationship. We were talking, we were just going out, bring me food. Then like I'm still talking to other people. And he was like, yeah, I thought we were on the same wavelength. Like, no. Okay, so I find out because I had a friend who was also a police officer later on that his fiance was also a police officer. And I'm like, bro, y'all have the same job. You sit here getting fired from police officer jobs like your wife not in the same industry for the same police department and she can't find out. Men are dumb. You're gonna risk your job. Like, not only are you gonna risk y'all share bills. So don't be coming here losing jobs over a side chick and affecting bills in our house. On top of that, y'all work in the same industry. So like she can't find out from somebody that you lost a job or you had a girl at your job. Yeah, like this woman is a whole police officer. That's crazy. And so this is also the guy who told me like, I don't usually go for natural hair. Girl, I don't usually like the natural hair, but you was just so cute with it. And I'm like, why are you worried about my natural hair when you got a woman who wear her hair straight 24/7 at home? You could have just stayed with her. You don't got to talk to me. You said you like straight hair. She got straight hair. Why you talking to me with my puff on top of my head? I don't understand. Leave me alone.
My heart hurts.
But I mean, I thought it was funny. I didn't lose anything. I got free a lot of food and stuff. I mean, of course, after that, I didn't talk to him anymore. I mean, he knew that he didn't tell me that. He tried to play like, oh yeah, I thought like because after that dinner, we never saw each other again. So you knew that would happen, and that's why you didn't tell me because you wanted to continue to have your side thing on the side, and now I have to be held accountable. But that's my story time.
Girl.
And now they are happily married, I suppose.
I don't know. Was engaged and living together.
I want to believe that she found out and was like, "Oh, heck nah."
No, I don't think I was the only one. He tried to act like he was like, "Yeah, I usually don't do stuff like this, but you didn't know."
Yeah, you do.
You know me. You
saw me. Don't mind.
Know me.
Some women don't mind.
She ain't know. Oh, I don't know if she know. Actually, I have no idea.
No. I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about women, like some women that talk to him wouldn't mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was straight on that. I'm like, I don't got no reason to have to sneak around with a married man. I mean, an engaged man or any type of man who is in a committed relationship. If I got all these options, what I'm gonna sit here waste my time with you for? And you stupid enough to be losing your job. It pissed me off. And he ain't even paying my bills. Like that made me mad for her. Like, girl, I wish
Ooh.
Well, that is my story time. I thought that was a good one.
Ooh,
that was a good one. Thank you. Story time. All right, Marv, what you got for us?
Well, today's segment is brought to you without this being an ad because ain't nobody paying us. This is my drop of support Black business. I bought these cards called Mentally Stimulate Me. It's from this Black dude who usually has like all these questions and
Derek
what have
Jackson.
you. You said what?
Derek Jackson.
Oh yeah, that is him. Yeah, him. This was back in the day. I know y'all are cringing. This is back before I knew he was kind of like with some of the advice that he was giving. Yeah, this was like maybe 4 years ago.
Somebody said Derek Jackson gives advice like Steve Harvey, and I can't unsee that now.
That's hilarious.
I can't unsee that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Before he record, he'd be like, and scene, you know.
When he walked to you, you better get you a man that has no limp, that has 2 healthy legs.
Don't you ever let a man disrespect you, because if he disrespects you, then he will never.
He definitely just turns it on. Like, yeah. So this was before I started cringing about him. As you can see, the box is kind of beat up and old. But back in the day, I was like, oh, maybe he's saying some stuff. Either way, I was like, ooh, you know me, I love games. So this segment is a question. It's not necessarily a game, but I'm going to turn it into a game because that's kind of what this card situation is about. So I'm going to ask a question and we have to guess what each of us would answer. Okay. So you have to know your answer. And then and then Starr, you have to guess what I would say, and you have to guess what Alyssa will say. Okay. It's just one question.
Okay.
Listen very carefully. Here we go. Which one would turn you on the most? A, your faces are ridiculous. It's all verbal, y'all. So get your mind out the gutter. A, your partner paying a bill of yours without being asked. B, your partner defending you against their friends. C, your partner waking you up with breakfast and mimosas. D, your partner passionately dropping knowledge. I'm going to say these options again. So again, the question is, which one would turn you on the most? A, your partner paying a bill of yours without being asked. B, your partner defending you against their friends. C, your partner waking you up with breakfast and mimosas. D, your partner passionately dropping knowledge. So again, this is about being turned on. So it's not just like, oh, that's a nice thing. It's a, oh, he could get it right now type situation after this has happened.
I think that Marvy would say her partner dropping knowledge. I think that Alyssa would say her partner paying the bill.
You're not supposed to say yes or no yet. You're supposed to wait until the end.
Okay.
Alyssa, what do you guess?
What would I guess?
Yeah.
About like y'all?
Yeah.
I think that Marvy would get excited about her partner dropping knowledge. Starr? What was B again?
Your partner defending you against their friends.
I think C for Starr. I mean, even though she doesn't drink, I think the breakfast and the orange juice would be nice.
Yeah, this is a hard one for Starr. I'm really conflicted. I would say, I don't know. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna just say for Alyssa, the paying the bill without being asked. That was a given. We know Alyssa. And then for Starr, I'm gonna say, see this. Okay, I'm gonna say D, and I'm gonna give my reason why. But actually, first, let's go ahead and just say what answers. So for me, my answer, my turn on would be your partner passionately dropping knowledge. Y'all know me. I'm all about it. I'd just be like, oh, he could get it. What? Yes. So, and then for Alyssa, we know. What was your answer?
My answer is A. It's him paying a bill without being asked. Like, acts of service is my love language. Don't excite a girl with a good time.
Okay. Starr, what is your answer?
B.
See, I thought about B, but here's why I didn't pick B. I didn't pick B because I was like, I don't feel like David would have friends that would be trash. That's why I didn't
my
pick.
exact reason, because I feel like Starr is so sweet, and like when you have like these conflicts, I feel like he does come to bat for you. But then it's like, I also don't think that David will put himself in a situation where somebody would speak negatively on you.
Yeah, or have friends that would do that.
I thought that Alyssa would have guessed B.
I was close to it. You see, I was thinking about it. And I was like, I guess I'll go.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm conflicted between these two
because I could definitely see that though.
No, so I mean, David doesn't have any friends who he has to defend me against. I think the concept of your man defending you and standing in front of you and not having to defend yourself, to me, is very sexy, especially as an assertive woman.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the general idea of that is like something that I am for, because
we talk about defending women on the podcast quite often.
Black women. All right, I'm gonna hold in my answer this time. I'm gonna be better. What's the next question?
Oh, you want me to do another one? That was just gonna be it. We'll do one more.
That was good.
I think we got time for like 2.
All right, so we'll do one more. All right. This is a stupid one, but
if it's stupid, you know.
This one's not as deep, y'all. This one is just petty. If you had a gallon of water and saw your ex on fire, you would A, put the fire out, B, wait a few seconds, then put the fire out. C, set the water down and let them put their own fire out. D, water your plants with the water. And you don't even have plants. Alyssa's face. That was just a silly one. I feel like we don't even need to answer that one. But
I know I would put them out, but I would complain the entire time.
Like you would do something like this.
Fire in the first place.
You would get caught.
I always gotta save you. See, black women always come save you niggas. Here, huh?
You talk about us alpha women, but here I am saving you again.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us would let any of us.
No, absolutely not.
But I complained about it the entire time. I wouldn't even let them burn for a second because I wouldn't want nobody to do me like that.
No, I know you went too because y'all got kids together and stuff. I know.
Right. But I would complain about it the entire time. I'm not risking letting him get burnt to the point where I got to take more on from the kids than I need to. You need to be healthy. We already made a pact years ago when we got divorced.
Oh my God.
I said, you're not gonna die. He said, no, you're not gonna die. I said, okay. And that was our pact because we can't take care of these kids alone. So look.
That's hilarious.
That is hilarious and very real. Oh gosh. Yeah, I think we're good. We'll see.
That one must have been super sexual, the one you just pulled.
No. Oh, this is a good one. Well, I mean, kind of. All right, here we go. Which one annoys you the most? A, being skipped in line for food. B, Fox News. C, seeing a child talk back to his or her mom. D, fitness advice from a guy who doesn't work his legs.
I'm sorry.
I'm laughing because I haven't seen some of these questions. I can't. All right. So again, I'm gonna read them. You said that's all the options. Which one annoys you the most? A, being skipped in the line for food. B, Fox News. C, seeing a child talk back to his or her mom. D, fitness advice from a guy who doesn't work his legs. All right. Who wants to go first?
I will go.
All right.
Fitness advice from anybody who does not work out.
Oh, you just giving your own. All right. I guess we just giving our own. Yep, that's fine.
I had this one girl, I was working out tough, like when I worked at YP, I was like literally working out like 4 days a week on my lunch breaks, like 30, 40 minutes. And then I would take like 10, 15 minutes to eat lunch. And she was like 300 pounds. And she was just like, cardio isn't going to help you lose weight. But no, she was over I would say about 350. And she's like, cardio isn't going to help you lose weight. You need to do this, this, and this. And I was like, well, if you know, then why haven't you done it?
You said that to her?
Yes.
This is why I love Alyssa, because Alyssa don't mince words. What she said?
She was just like so shocked. I don't think she really responded. And I was like, and then you complain because you done ate a whole tub of ice cream at bedtime. At least I'm trying. So give me peace.
Starr, what is your
Fox News? I cringe. Like
I already knew when they said Fox News. Exactly. I was like, that's Starr.
It is cringe.
Because David actually makes you watch it. So yeah.
David is like entertained. He's laughing. I'm like, please turn it off. I'm burning. I am burning. I am melting right now. Please. The white privilege and ridiculousness is just unparalleled.
OD. I don't watch Fox News enough to be bothered by it, but I am bothered by people who watch it and regurgitate the rhetoric. But mine is actually seeing a child talk back to his or her mom, because I would never.
My niece and nephew.
I can't do it. I couldn't do it. Growing up in my Caribbean households, if I ever would have fixed my mouth to say anything, it would have been knocked into next week. Like, just
like when you don't have your own, it's hard for you to be like, look, this is how I'll discipline it, until you get your own and you be like,
no, I'm sure. I just watching it happen is like, oh my God, like it hurts my heart, because I'm like, oh my God, I would have been beat. I
ignore those people. I just walk past them. When their kids be rolling on the floor, and I look at Ari and I'll say, I wish you would.
But here's the thing. My mom is the mom that we walk up to those parents and to the child and be like, listen, you get off the floor. My mother was that mother. So I would be the child cringing in the corner like, Ma, those are strangers. You don't know them. Please don't talk to that child or the mother. And she'd be like, listen, there's no need for all that noise. And I'd be like, Mom, why are you like this?
Nowadays, people will cuss you out for talking to their kids.
Also in Georgia, like when I learned when I moved here, like people will call CPS on anything. So if they see you like yelling at your kid, if you pinch your kid, if you, discipline your kid in public, they will call CPS on you.
Yep.
Kids and dogs, they don't play about them in Georgia. Kids and dogs, the people don't be playing about them.
Except when it's immigrant children in cages, but
of course.
Yeah. Or little black girls, but
missing. Yeah.
Dark skin black girls.
Anyway,
this took a dark turn. We just
I was like, this kind of got a little morbid.
Except the obvious.
In that case, we'll take the dogs.
I do love dogs, though. I'm not.
They let them dog. They let them dog.
All right, on to the topic.
All right, and now for our topic of the day. All right, so who here is a fan of Married at First Sight?
I am a fan of it.
I've not seen it. My mom watches it though, and then complains. You said what?
You haven't seen any of the seasons?
I haven't seen any season at all.
Have you heard anything?
I've heard.
Do you know what Married at First Sight is about?
Yes, from what I gather, it's just that like people will find some. Oh wait, no, this is a different one. That's 90 Day Fiance. Never mind. I don't know anything about Married at First Sight.
You want to give her like a brief overview of Married at First Sight?
Yes. So Married at First Sight is a show where experts find people and match them based on compatibility and other factors, and they meet for the first time at the altar, and they marry a stranger at first sight, literally, and then they are married for 8 weeks, and we follow them for 8 weeks through their honeymoon and going back home and living together and all that good stuff. And then after the 8 weeks is up, they have they call decision day. And on decision day, they decide if they want to stay married or if they want to get a divorce. And throughout the 8 weeks, they also are having like sessions with the experts as well. There is kind of like giving them counseling and whatnot. One of the experts is a pastor. One of the experts is a therapist. I don't know all experts, but
counselors,
yeah, like that. They're experts.
tests.
Yeah, they take personality tests and blah blah blah. But they're always like someone like y'all match these people for TV. That's how some of it feels like. But you have some really cute couples that come out of Married at First Sight. Like the last couple from last season, Amani and I can't remember his name. But anyways, this black couple, they're like the cutest. And Greg and Deanna are the cutest, huh?
That's what I'm thinking of, Greg and Deanna.
Yeah, Greg and Deanna are the cutest, but Amani and I can't remember her husband's name, but and Woody, they are probably the cutest couple.
Last year?
From the very last season. If you watch it on Netflix, you like the season.
Oh, no, you're not.
Amani and Woody are from New Orleans.
Okay, that's not last season.
That's last season.
Last season was Greg and Deanna, right?
No, I'm telling you, you be watching on Netflix and they are a season behind. So like the next season hasn't come out yet. They get it like 2 seasons. Like once the next season start, you probably get the previous season.
What was I gonna say? So with that being said, Marvy, if you were not currently booed up, would you be interested in Married at First Sight or something like Married at First Sight?
I don't think so, because y'all know how crazy I can be when it comes to asking all the questions. I need to know. I have questions and I need to know X, Y, and Z before we even go on a second or third, fourth date, much less be married. And at the end of the day, I value the sanctity of marriage way too much to just be like, I'm going to like play house for a second and then possibly like divorce somebody just for shiggles, like to go on a show. Like right now, there is like a casting. I think it's like Will Packard Media is like, there's a show coming out called Put a Ring on It that's being cast here in Atlanta. And I think the premise is like there are couples that are together, and then they're single people, and they're putting them on the show where like the couples go on dates with single people, and I guess they have to decide whether they want to stay with the person that they currently with or end up with one of these single people. I was like, that's just messy.
Yeah, there are couples that are not married, so they're like dating couples who are going through like group therapy sessions the entire time, but they also are going on dates with other people to like essentially test their relationship and blah blah blah. But they have the choice of like whether they want to go on another date or blah blah blah. But I didn't watch that show, but I have watched reviews on the show.
Yes,
and most of the couple, all the couples from my understanding, stayed together. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, some crazy. What about you, Alyssa?
No.
She said it with the quickness.
I wouldn't go on there just because, I don't know, if I don't like your face, like, if I don't like your face, like that's all. Like I don't know. And it's not like a very vain thing. That initial attraction has to be there. Yes, it can grow over time, but if I don't initially think at least you're like a hint of attractive, I'm not like, if you have a wandering eye, I'm never going to be that attracted where I'm just like, forget that wandering eye. I love this guy. No, you're still going to be the guy with the wandering eye. You know what I mean? That sounds very vain. I'm not vain at all, but
no, attraction is a huge part of making a relationship last.
Because you're gonna be trying to kiss me, and then I'm gonna be like, not you in this eye. No.
That's real.
So stop. I mean, what'd you say, Marvy? What'd you say, Marvy?
I said that's not vain at all. That's completely legit. Starr, what about you?
No, I wouldn't get married at first sight. Absolutely not.
I mean, we know you married, but
I'm married, but I mean, I kept up with the show before I was married, and I still wouldn't get married at first sight. That's crazy. No, I mean, I think I don't like. I don't think that people going on the show means that they don't take marriage seriously, because I've seen like real people like go on the show and take it seriously and like find love, and there've been babies that have been born from the show and all that good stuff. I just personally like Marvel. I'm a little too type A for that. I don't trust. It's TV. I don't trust y'all. I don't trust y'all to have my best interests at heart.
Exactly.
You know, you win some, lose some, and if a nigga try me on TV like he did Paige, I'm leaving right in and there. You were not about to sit here and make a fool of me on national TV. Absolutely not.
Okay, give some context. What happened with Paige?
Okay, so on the current season of Married at First Sight, that is based in Atlanta, every season typically has at least 2 Black couples. So it's usually like 4 to 5 couples. At least 2 of them are Black couples. This season they mixed it up a little bit. They have a interracial couple, a white woman and a Black man. They have a Black woman with a Dominican man. He's like racially Black, but like ethnically from Dominican Republic.
I got the hiccups. He fine. I was light skinned guys. He fine.
She been giddy like a mug. Like she was like.
And I'm also irritated that the other Black guy that they got on there got that like comb over thing going on.
Oh yeah, Ryan. But that's the one with a white woman. Yeah,
but then she was like, "I want a racially ambiguous man."
Oh yeah, she was cringe. I'm like, girl, she has a fetish, but he seems like he might have one too. I don't know. He said he likes the blonde hair, blue eye. I don't know. Whatever. They seem like they match well to me. And then you have, who did I go through? And then we have like 2 white couples. Usually they're still like, usually opposites in some ways, blah, blah, blah. They might like each other, they might not. And then we have this season, Paige and Chris, which are 2 Black people. And Paige and Chris are the stars of this season, not for good reason. That rhymes. Okay. So to describe, Paige is a dark-skinned Black woman, beautiful. So is Brianna, the other Black woman. She's also a dark-skinned, beautiful Black woman. But Paige specifically is a dark-skinned, beautiful Black woman. Notably, she has a large butt. That was like a topic of conversation in this last
over and over again.
Over and over again. She has a large butt. She's an accountant. She's a realtor. She owns a house. She's a Christian. She loves the Lord. She believed that God led her to this show. She was talking about the Holy Spirit. She was giving me pinky promise, and it was she was giving me a Holy Spirit. You are welcome here. You walk down this aisle with me, and I was like, okay, girl. But what made it comical was because we saw the guy that they matched her with, so we're like, girl, you're gonna have to calm down because he ain't.
Some of us know him.
We're like, girl, you're gonna have to calm down because it ain't all that you hyping it up to be. Because like we see him on the other end, and so Chris is a Black man. He's very into designer fashions. He is an entrepreneur. He says he's a Christian man. He used to be a minister, but he
says he's a Christian man.
He decided to not be in ministry because he said he wasn't making enough money. Can you want to take over for how descriptive? I don't know how to describe. He's very trash. I don't.
I follow him on social media. I know him, and he has already stated that when people say unsavory things about him online, he's gonna sue them. So
he's very like the arrogant. Like I am the stuff I need.
I'm the prize.
To me, I'm not gonna lie to you. To me, he's to me personally. He is like every Christian man, mostly every Christian man that I've met in that certain Christian man space.
Yeah.
He's no different to me than the Winstons or the Cyruses, he's no different to me. So he fits right along line with the type of men that we have been encountering, especially in Atlanta, especially in these Christian spaces, where women are saving themselves for like marriage and their husbands.
Oh, I forgot the main two parts. He's been engaged twice, and his last engagement ended 2 months before the show. And they got
2 months.
That's what they say. It seemed like the timeline is it seemed closer than that, but they say 2 months before the show is when his engagement ended, and he's now on he got married at first sight. All right. And so he makes a big deal about how he don't want his wife to be ugly, but in a very like hard, like people like when people use the word ugly is very harsh. Like
also when they ask to describe like what they want their mate to be like, most people, except the girl who said, I want a racially ambiguous man. Most people are like, I want someone kind, generous, loving, ambitious. They don't list physical attributes.
All he listed was he wanted someone who looked good and who was saved.
Why
like
is it that so many Christian men do that?
Because
Like,
all they believe that that's our purpose is to be their trophy wife, look good, and love Jesus.
And he said that he wanted a honeymoon baby, and he don't even know this woman, and he didn't even know who he was about to match with. He talked about he wanted a honeymoon baby, and he just got an engagement. Anywho's,
and that he fasted from porn 3 days before before married at first sight.
he fasted from porn for 3 days.
Mhm.
That's such an accomplishment.
but he had to masturbate in a time period because that's what he had to do. So that seems like, I mean, that it's not. I'm not judging the situation. To me, it just seems like he might have a sexual issue that he has to deal with potentially, because it's just like the sexual, like his everything is so sexual with him, and like sex is like so important, even as a Christian man. Like to me, it was weird because like you're on national TV. I think I was surprised, like because again, like Alyssa said, we knew of him before the show because we were in the same Christian circles, right? And so I was like, I wonder if how people are gonna perceive, because I've never really known anybody on the reality TV, but I'm like, yo, you were worse than what I imagined that you would actually show on TV. Like even like you could be trash, but usually people like him are more charismatic and charming and socially manipulative to where they can make themselves appear better and like wholesome. They actually are. How a lot of the preachers are. Like, I mean, he used to preach, and a lot of the preachers are able to like turn on the charm.
The level of arrogance that he displays makes him think as though that is a good version of him.
Wow, I don't know who this guy is, but you guys,
you have to like Marv. If you don't watch any other season of Married at First Sight, you need to go back and watch this because it's so. I think it's so true to. So one thing I didn't like, I watch reviews and people say I hate when people say like, oh, that's Atlanta for you. I hate that because it's not like that's not all of the men in Atlanta. I think that he speaks to a very particular type of man that we have all encounter in Atlanta, but all men in Atlanta aren't him. And so I feel like some people are dismissing the conversation as like, yep, that's Atlanta. I'm not even surprised. I'm like, yeah, I've definitely met him, and like not him personally, I've seen him in person, but I've met a lot of versions of him in Atlanta, but I think that also depends on the social environments that you might be around in Atlanta as well.
Also, it depends on what you're looking for.
Exactly.
Looking for this certain type of man, this is who Kevin Samuels would describe as a high value man.
And he is trash. He is basura.
Right. So if that is what
you have to, Marvelyn, I'm not exaggerating.
If that is what you're looking for, then these are some of the things that you have to be willing to deal with, because that is the level of arrogance that these men
display.
You know what I mean?
So let's move to the wedding day real quick. I'm feeling Marvelyn.
5 minutes on the wedding day because he's not taking up my whole segment.
Okay, so I just trying to fill Marvelyn in because she's looking at me like, girl, you being harsh. Okay, so they talking about, he have sex wedding night, blah, 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 honeymoon baby, condoms, blah, blah, blah. So him and his daddy like, okay, hope she's not ugly. Okay, so she walks to the entrance and she's just like, oh, I feel like the Holy Spirit is just, oh my gosh, the Holy Spirit is just, I'm so ready. Right. And so she walks to the entrance. He says, oh, S word. Oh, S word is what he says. Right. So she walks down the aisle. He tried to like, try to fake a smile. He's trying to like, try not to look how distraught that he is inside. So he reads his vows. He doesn't look at her. Right. Right after they got married, they had like this like small chat, to themselves. She tells him she has a tattoo. He asks her if she has any more tattoos. He says that he has a tattoo. She was like, oh, what's the tattoo? And he shows her, and then she was like, it looks fresh. And he was like, oh yeah, because it was my ex's name, and I just got it covered a couple days ago because of I'm getting married at first sight. And she was like, oh, okay. And he was like, oh yeah, I used to be engaged before. She was like, how long ago? He was like, a couple months ago. She was like, okay. And then she was like, you like dogs? And he was like, oh no, you have dogs? And she was like, yeah, I have a Yorkie. Or something. And he was like, oh yeah, my ex has a Yorkie. Okay, so moving on. I got to move quickly through these things. So at the table at the wedding, he asked her. He says, so are you a virgin? He says, are you on contraceptives? And this is like on camera at the table at their wedding. He says, are you on contraceptives? He says, do you have a high sex drive?
See, these are questions that I need to know before I get married. Okay.
But these are also not the questions you ask to a woman that you don't know nothing about.
On camera, like.
Yeah, on her wedding day.
Questions that you're asking to a woman that you said that you were not physically attracted to.
Yes, he said he talks to her friends, and he says that Paige is the opposite of what he usually goes for, right? The opposite, right? And then and they were like, what do you mean by that? He was like, well, I usually go for the pretty girls who are like, he was like, who are like trophy wives. And then her friends were like, oh, well, Paige is a trophy wife for sure, but she's more than that. And he was like, oh no, I don't think Paige is a trophy wife. And he says, she's not what I wanted, but maybe she's what I needed. And proceeds to have sex with her on the wedding night. And then afterwards tells her that he's not attracted to her.
Well, he afterwards he said that he wasn't attracted to her.
He had sex with her twice. He had sex with her on the one night, and then the next morning. And then after he has sex with her, then he tells her he's not attracted to her.
He goes downstairs for breakfast to grab
2 hours.
Hotel breakfast, come back a couple hours later, and then tells her that he's not attracted to her.
Well, and
he that's got a breakfast tray upside his head.
I see. That's what I just.
But I wouldn't have given none the first night. So
that's the thing. That's what
I'm sorry, y'all. If I was y'all's friends at y'all wedding, and dude said, I'm usually used to pretty girls, a trophy wife. She's not trophy wife. She's not what I'm used to. Blah blah blah. I'm telling you, I know that they probably didn't want to ruin her day, but them not telling her that caused her to think that things were cool. Although he showed mad red flags the whole night. So even off of the interactions we saw with them two, she should have not had sex with him. Even off the strength of like he's a complete stranger. Most people don't have sex the first night, even though they're married. Most people still don't have sex.
If they are not Christian, or if they are not Christian, or very sexual beings, they don't have sex the first night
because they don't know each other. So most people like stay up talk, whatever.
Like, you just met him 2 hours ago.
Yeah,
you ain't drunk in a bar, like.
Yeah, it's you might have like every season, you might have one couple, maybe one couple who might have sex the first night, but most people don't. Mm-hmm. They like get to know each other, and then like maybe over the course of the 8 weeks they might have sex. But yeah, okay. Some people never have sex over the 8 weeks,
and then they decide to break it off,
or they decide to stay together and have sex after the 8 weeks.
Oh,
but it just depends on some people are different.
Because that one girl, she in that Charleston, South Carolina, I think it was where Greg and Deanna from, they had, one of the girls was a virgin, and she he didn't want to have sex with her because he was like, that is very huge, like I don't want to, you know what I mean, if we don't end up being together, like I don't want to take that from you.
Like these are really regular people. This show is like the most regular people that like you see on any type of
They laid in the bed for 8 weeks. He did not have sex with her. And like he wanted to play little games to like spice stuff up. He's like, but she acts like a kid when it comes to sex. Like she didn't want to kiss, like rub his knees. She was too nervous about rubbing his knee and stuff.
So they did not end up together in the end.
No,
Because he says she's not, he says she's emotionally immature.
and she seemed kind of kiddie, but
She did. Because her virginity was a prize. And I'm not saying that is
it wasn't like she said it was faith, but it became more about her virginity than it became about like the reason
idol.
What she can get for it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is what this is worth, and this is what I should be able to get for it. Type.
We're gonna talk about that on another podcast.
Yeah, but anyway,
purity culture.
But go ahead, Alyssa. I just had to share that much. So
we got like 10 minutes. All right. Okay. So on every Married at First Sight show, before the couples get married, the friends come up with an intro or like a little spiel about the person that's about to get married. So I kind of wanted to do that for each one of us real quick.
Oh God, what?
So me and Starr would do one for Marvy, and y'all would do one for me, and me and Marvy would do one for Starr. Okay. So if we are meeting a stranger, all right, so me and Starr can go for you, Marvy. If we are meeting, if Marvelyn is on Married at First Sight and she's meeting her stranger for the first time, and we have to give an introduction, what would we say?
Okay, I'm gonna start.
Go ahead.
I watched the show, so I know I want you to see how this goes. So it's like, meet Marvelyn. We want you to know that Marvelyn is a people person. She loves to connect with people, and she also loves to connect people with each other. She has a heart of gold. She's a little type A. She might drive you crazy sometimes, but it is with a heart of love. Yeah.
And mine for Marvy is, I would add into that, she loves to play games and plan out games nights. She loves little cutesy things like painting in the park. And if she's quiet, just know that she's thinking of 3 million other things that she needs to do. Or that she needs to work out through her head before she has that conversation with you. Mm-hmm. So just be patient and just be loving in the meantime.
Y'all will be A-okay.
Okay. So all we ask is that you be patient and loving, and you'll be okay. That's how it goes. Some people say the weirdest things. When they describe Chris, they described all material things. Mm-hmm. He likes to wear the best and dress in the best. And I was like,
and I was like, how they describe Rihanna? They was like, yeah, and she's the boss. And she's the boss. I'm like, oh,
yeah, they said like she's the boss like 50 times. And I was like, yeah. What would they say about me?
I hated that for her.
I hated that. It was cringeworthy. I felt like nobody had like loving things to say. Mm-hmm. I don't know. All right. So, Marvy, you want to start with Starr?
All right. Meet Starr. She has an amazing pineapple fro that you will see her rock on the regular if she's not having it wrapped up in a very elaborate, beautiful head wrap. She is your sister soldier, fight for your rights, Black woman, and she will make sure that her voice is heard and that those who don't have a voice will be heard. She has an amazing heart. She's super loving and loyal and compassionate and is always willing to help you, especially if you need interior decorating advice. She is right there designing your home and helping you figure out what you want to do with your life.
I was just about to say, and don't get it twisted, just because she is loving does not mean that she is not also type A. She has lists and lists for those lists and lists for those lists. But she will always be prepared with a plan A, plan B, plan C, and plan D. And that's always nice, having someone who is prepared and loving and compassionate. She's very knowledgeable and she will often be there to help you in times of need.
Amen.
Oh, sheesh, this is my turn.
Sorry, you go first.
Okay. Meet Alyssa. she
I feel like I want to just do her intro from
Meet Alyssa.
the podcast.
She is hilarious, but nobody laughs at her jokes harder than she does. Although they may sting a little, there is no one nicer and sweeter and more helpful that you will meet than Alyssa. She has literally a heart of gold. She is extremely helpful, and she is there for anyone who needs her, whether she knows them or not.
Mhm.
Alyssa loves her children and takes pride in being a super mom. She is very smart, articulate, and she gets stuff done.
I would also like to add that Alyssa has a knack for shopping. So get ready.
Spin that check.
Spin it. She also loves acts of service. So the quickest way to her heart is through helping out, doing something for her, and just know that she is going to give you all the love in kind, because that's just the type of person that she is. She loves trips and she loves to laugh. Like, her sense of humor is just uncanny, and yeah, she's just really considerate. And don't let the tough exterior that she might give you at first fool you. She is a softie, like the ice
cookie.
cream.
She's a cupcake.
Mhm.
She's a cupcake. I have another one. Okay. Like, your words of affirmation might be nice, but you might want to add them to some action, because words don't go that far with Alyssa. So that's just a tip, that if you have nice words to say to Alyssa, make sure your actions line up with it, or it will fall on deaf ears.
Amen.
That's it. That's it.
Amen. So pay a bill. Don't just sit there and look cute or say something nice.
Yeah, don't just be saying something nice and don't be doing that.
And I'll be like, words, actions. Not needed. No, I'm out. See, that was fun. That was a fun way to end it. They have like the cutest write-ups, but I did cringe when they said Brianna, and I was like, there's like, she's a boss and she's bossy. She likes to boss people around. I was like,
yeah. I just hate when they do stuff like that when it comes to like Black women, specifically dark-skinned Black women, and they play up like negative stereotypes. I hate that. Like in Pastor Cal called her
Friends?
Huh?
The Friends do that?
I'm saying the show, and like the Friends played into it, but the show probably had something to do with it, probably because they had already been saying stuff like that. That like they kind of paint a narrative around each person leading up to the wedding. Like you have like, you meet them before the wedding, right? And so they were talking about Pastor Cal called her aggressive, but she's just very like type A. She likes everything neat. She likes things in order. She's an engineer. Like she is. Both Black women on that show are just smart. They on it. Like, yeah. So
most of the Black women that have like, most of the Black women in Atlanta that you meet that have careers, like they're on it. You know, granted, there are some Black women that, you know, want men who are high earners to be trophy wives, but like a lot of them who have careers, like they're on it. They're, you know, on their game.
Her husband loved her anyway. Like they are the cutest couple on the show. But I just hate how they introduced her, because like we can see her type A-ness, but nothing that has seemed like worse than us, because we are all type A. Like they love each other. Like, or so far they've been getting along. We haven't seen anything crazy, like extreme, you know. So
we are all type A.
We are all type A.
All the way.
So I'm like, don't be doing my girl like that, because that ain't me. Because I'm like, they talking about Brianna, not you. But I feel like when they talk about Brianna, they kind of talk about me too.
So tired of Black women, dark-skinned Black women being synonymous with aggressive. We are passionate. Okay? We just want to be heard.
She was giving me Marvelyn talking about what if he's not clean? I don't know what to do if he's not.
You heard my biggest thing was if I'm not attracted, like I feel like anything else I can work through with you on, like, you know, but you just have to be attractive. You have to be attracted to me. And that's not that hard, honestly.
You just have to not be anything like Chris. There's nothing like there was like zero
arrogance is unmatched.
There was 0%.
Is he attractive?
No, I mean,
I go off of personality.
Yeah, if you didn't know his personality, you just looked at him. If you just
he would be all right, but like his person, like he's so ugly. His personality is so ugly that you can't separate the two.
You really can't.
It's so overwhelming that it makes everything about him ugly. Although, I mean, especially because he is materialistic, so a lot of his personality is based on appearance. So all of that, like he wants to wear a certain type of shoes, he does his hair a certain way. All of it just looks pretentious.
And then you say like, "Oh, I don't want nobody that want me for my money," but you got on $2,000 shoes, like but you just said you want a trophy wife.
But all he presented with was money. He didn't say anything about his personality or her personality. All he said was about his looks and money.
He didn't speak to his character at all.
These men gotta go. Somebody just.
He is the worst man on Married at First Sight in history. Like there have been some bad white trash.
Cheated on old girl.
I'm telling you, okay, Marvelyn. This man has a baby on the way. It hasn't come up in the episode yet, but he has a baby on the way.
This same guy,
yes, Chris. He also has, on top of everything that we just said, he has a baby on the way. This is the worst. This is the worst. And like he's done it from day one. At least when Matt, like they, Matt
pretended to be nice.
At least we know he wasn't, like she was too, like, I don't even know if they had sex. Maybe they did, but Chris has been trash. Like we had hope in Matt. Chris been trash before they even got to the wedding day. Everybody was already, before the wedding day happened, everybody was already like, this guy is just not it. There's nothing, he has no redeeming qualities, not one. Not one. And that's the thing, like Matt was all like they're all trash, all in the trash bin. I just don't know if it gets any lower than
crazy part though.
What?
He doesn't need to have any.
He doesn't what?
That's the crazy part. He doesn't need to have any redeeming qualities because he has money. So guess what?
I don't know if he has money like that.
Yeah, he does. He does. He owns a couple of subways.
He owns one subway and then went out of business, and they had his stuff on the curb. They had his stuff on the curb. Like they have an article because people have been like they literally put his stuff on the curb. They said that he didn't make one payment after the initial investment for that subway.
And then he has the trucking company.
He started that after his business went down. We don't know. I don't trust. I mean, and his employees from the subway came out and talked about how horrible he was. It was just there's nothing good, huh?
Researching him.
The news, like you really have to, like I be on YouTube. I have not put Chris Williams into a search engine.
Oh, okay.
I don't have to because everybody
else is done.
Everybody is doing it, and everybody is coming with like the receipts and all.
But the unfortunate fact is like if you have money, I mean, we don't see the fruit of that, but like if you have money, you don't need any redeeming qualities. Just like Kevin Samuels.
That's what the world says, and we don't subscribe to that.
I don't think so. I
think that.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I mean, I guess like it's possible. Yes, you will find like he said he didn't want someone who just wanted him for his money. But when that's all you have to offer, that's all you're going to get. So that's
are wanting. Like that's all you're requiring out of a woman.
And that's the quality of the woman that you're going to ultimately get as well. And so you might be equally yoked because you're superficial and you're going to attract someone who's also superficial. And so likewise, our advice to women who don't want a superficial man, who want a man with substance, is that you avoid those type of men. You don't give them your attention no matter how much money he has and how he presents. Like character over credentials.
or your credit or anything, or cash, character over cash, because
yeah, character was all of that. No, we want all of it. No, we want you to have some cash and some credit and some character.
Oh yeah, we want all of those things.
Ideally, but I'm not about to take credit and cash and you trash. Like, I just,
yeah, because at the end of the day, if cash goes away, are you a trash individual that I gotta wake up and look at in the morning, and you just over here curled up in a corner because your whole like self-worth was wrapped up in the money?
And I'm gonna have to divorce you and take all your money, because I'm gonna be sleeping on some dollar bills now. If I marry you and you trash, I'm gonna divorce you and I'm gonna take your money. But I don't have to worry about that because I have a man who.
Yeah, I was gonna say
cash and credit. But I'm saying, if I was them, if I ended up with somebody like Chris and I married, if I was Paige, I hope he signed a prenup, because I would have taken everything he got. That's probably why Subway went out of business. Paige is an accountant. She's smart. She probably took him for everything he got.
Pause. Because I was going to call Alyssa out on her sippy cup, right? But then, only the YouTube people are going to know about this, but I'm about to spill it to all of our listeners so they know what just happened.
Bring it back up again.
Alyssa had a little blue straw, a little sippy cup situation. I didn't know what was going on. Then all of a sudden I see a little bottle, a little twist off situation. I was like, oh, okay. So she had wine in that sippy cup. All right. Wasn't gonna say nothing. Then she had the whole bottle of wine.
With it. Also, I drank all of this by myself.
No, let's not. Okay.
This is the winking out. I don't know if you guys can see.
My uncle drinks that. Yes. Is that good? I haven't tried it.
It's $2 at Aldi's.
But is it good?
Yes.
What is that? Moscato?
This is sangria. But they have like 5 different flavors. It's $2.
Yeah, my uncle gets
super good. It's not like the bitter cheap ones, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
Is that it?
And that's it.
Good. So I guess I'm gonna have to watch this show. I don't really know if I want to.
We'll have to talk about.
We should
show in here together and then like discuss it.
Oh.
Yeah, people.
Ooh, I want to binge A Different World.
I would not mind that. See, I like that good wholesome stuff.
Start with like one season or something and then talk about it. And
all these baby mama exes and tattoos, I can't.
All of it's not bad though. We can also watch Brianna and Vincent and get our life.
Yeah, it's not all bad.
Okay. I mean, I did watch Love is Blind. I went through that whole thing. So
yeah. Think about a Love is Blind-ish, but they actually see each other.
And actually, I would rather do a Married at First Sight than I would a Love is Blind, because these are at least experts setting us up.
Are they experts though? I feel like what y'all mentioned.
Like they throw in one wild card every time, but also with like the Chris and Paige situation, that is the type of woman that he needs. But if he's not open to allowing that type of person in, then he's going to result to the trophy wives. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to say on paper, they are actually perfectly matched. They both are Christians. They both love God. They both are successful. They both want somebody who's successful. They both want big families and children and all that kind of stuff. But if anybody who sits there to have a conversation with Chris, you know that he's just a trash individual, regardless to what the like description on paper is. But on paper, they are actually perfectly aligned. They both talked about sex often, like, because she talked about sex too.
Before right to the first night, he would have saw me in a big old onesie that zipped.
Yeah, she was like, "You like my pajamas?"
It would have only had this part of my face out.
I'm done. I'm so done. I would only I couldn't let these quote unquote experts set me up. I would let maybe y'all set me up, but yeah,
that would be cute.
Don't trust me with that, because if it go wrong, I don't want to speak more.
I'd be like, these heifers just messed up my life. Yeah, no. I would not.
Like, I can do this. Look at her face.
I can do it. I just want, I
do a terrible job for myself. So
gosh. Anyway.
I think I would have hooked Marvy up with her, boo. If I before. I think that if he crossed my path and I was trying to, I think I would have
It took 3 years to let this one in, so I don't know how.
You said it took 3 years to let yours in.
Let him in.
Sometimes it be like that.
You know?
Well.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us on Speak Brown Girl. Speak Brown Girl.
Out.